Explain a little bit better if I can set up my phone correctly. If you follow me on TikTok, you saw a video, a series of videos where I was talking about some drama that was going on between me and someone that I don't even know who they are at this point in time. What happened was today my husband and I went to my mother-in-law's business to get food, and my mother-in-law had mentioned to my husband that someone had showed her my TikToks, and she was upset about me talking about being bisexual, and she was upset that I had mentioned that I don't get along with them. The video in question, it was literally a 2-second mention. It was not long and drawn out. It was not me discussing why I don't get along with them. It was not me going into great detail. It was not me calling them names. It was not me being mean to them. It was literally a 2-second mention of we just don't get along. What ended up happening was I got incredibly mad because there's more to that conversation that I'm not willing to talk about. And I started getting really frustrated and really dumbfounded and really flabbergasted and just so angry I couldn't even see straight. So I decided to take to TikTok, where I know this person follows me, and I told them there was 2 people that I suspected it was, and they both follow me. If it wasn't either one of them, I'm sorry, but I did assume it was you. I took to TikTok and I was like, you're being called out. I'm like, I don't know why you did this, and I don't know why someone did this. I don't know what their end game here was. I don't know if they just weren't comfortable with me talking about me being bisexual, which if that's what they're upset about, they could have felt free to unfollow me at any point in time. Or if their point was that they assumed I was talking shit about my mother-in-law, then again, they could have contacted me and asked. I don't talk shit about my husband's family on the internet, and I'm not going to, because that's not what my content is. My content on YouTube is mostly daily vlogs and topic vlogs. And my TikTok content is 60-second vlogs where I tell stories, or I try to be funny, or I do duets, or I do music challenges. That is what my TikTok is about. I am about spreading love and positivity. And the comments that came at me from this happening were not from a place of love, and they were not from a place of they weren't loving, they weren't kind. They were very mean, very negative comments that hurt my feelings a lot. And it was not this person's comments. It was not the fact that this person went in real life and decided to show my mother-in-law my TikToks. The stuff that I had mentioned in my TikToks, my mother-in-law already knew about. My mother-in-law knew about my sexuality. My mother-in-law knew that we don't get along. My mother-in-law knew all of this. I have said this to her before. It was the comments that followed afterwards that hurt my feelings and bothered me and made me upset. And the reason is I am going to teach my daughter as she grows up to not be afraid to be who she is. I used to be a very eccentric person. I used to wear blue eyeshadow. I used to wear blue mascara. I used to wear black makeup all the time because I really like the color black. I used to be pretty unique. I used to be a pretty unique person. And then just comment. And the biggest thing was I used to wear my hair really short. I like wearing my hair short. I prefer wearing my hair short. I don't like having long hair on myself. I don't like having long hair. There are some women who have really beautiful long hair. I don't like having long hair. Excuse me. But I kept getting comments all the time about, there were a lot of comments about I look like a dyke with short hair, which is the comment that I wouldn't say on TikTok because I am followed by quite a few gay people, and I didn't want them to assume I was saying it to be offensive, because I do take offense to that word. I don't like that word. I don't like being told that I look like that, and I think it's really mean for people to tell me I look like that. But that was a comment I was getting all the time, is that I looked like a dyke. Or there was a couple people who said, oh, you better watch out, man, your wife's gonna leave you for a woman, or something like that. They were making jokes. So I decided I'm never cutting my hair short again. I stopped wearing black fingernail polish for a really long time because people made comments about me wearing black fingernail polish. I haven't worn black eyeshadow and I don't know how long, because people make comments about me wearing black eyeshadow. People just got to me. People made me feel less than, and people made me feel bad about being me. And I didn't like that. So I stopped. I tried to conform to what other people wanted. And in that, I lost myself. I lost who I am. My identity is my husband's wife and now my daughter's mother. And I don't mind being my husband's wife. I don't mind people, like, if someone can't remember who I am, being like, oh, this is his wife. And I was like, that doesn't bother me. But what does bother me is I got so lost in that persona that I lost who I was. I lost myself. And it made me really upset. And I've just gotten to the point where I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to be myself. And that was something that I went on kind of a rant about on TikTok, was that I was going to go back to being myself, including this Sunday. Tomorrow, I have a haircut coming up, which I'm going to do a video for that on TikTok, and I'm going to do a video for that on here too, so people can see it, because I know some people who are subscribed to my YouTube channel don't follow me on TikTok. Some people who follow me on TikTok aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, just whatever it is. But that's kind of where it started, was I was going to get my hair cut, and I am going to get my hair cut, and I'm really happy about getting my hair cut. But it got to a point where, again, I lost me for quite a long time. And wanting my daughter to grow up knowing that she can be whoever she wants to be. She doesn't have to live by a book or live by whatever it is. But I'm living a lie, and I'm not being honest with myself. And what really clicked that home for me was someone I love and care about, that's very, very close to me, and I love very, 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 very much, came to me and said they believed there was a chance they could be bisexual. And I was I was talking to them about this, and they said that they did not feel comfortable coming forward and saying that they were bisexual because they belonged to a family that would disown them for being bisexual. And this frustrated me, and I was like, no, you can't do that. You can't let your family disowning you let you be fearful of not being who you are. But then I kind of stepped back and I realized, oh shit, I'm not being truthful to myself or who I am. So I decided to make a change about that. And I decided to get on TikTok and talk about when I realized I was bisexual and all that kind of stuff. If you guys are interested in that story, comment down below and I'll tell that story here too. But I decided to go on TikTok and talk about how I knew when I was bisexual, and that, you know, this person had come to me and told me that they thought they were, but I was being a hypocrite. I was telling them that they had to live their truth, but I wasn't living mine. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. So I decided that I was going to live my truth, and excuse me, I was going to live like I wanted to, and I was going to live my life the way I wanted to live my life, and include my husband and my daughter, because I haven't been myself. And people have been pointing this out to me. My friends have been telling me I'm not myself. My family has been telling me that I'm not myself. And I didn't know what was wrong. Like, I legitimately didn't know what was wrong. I didn't know why I wasn't myself. And finally, I realized why I'm not myself. And it's because I've been hiding a very big portion of my identity. And I decided to quit doing that. Well, this led to someone who is on my TikTok that I think I know who it is, but I'm not entirely sure. This person, took my videos and showed them to my mother-in-law somehow. I don't know if they sent them to her or if they actually walked into her business and showed them to her. There was one video that my husband did point out. He thought I was calling out his mom. I'm going to explain. I was not calling out his mom. What happened was I made a video about small town living, because I've lived in a small town my entire life. And I made a video about small town living, and I said, if you have a business in a small town, you should not include your personal affiliations, because you're going to lose business. This had nothing to do with my mother-in-law. And like, I would swear on a stack of Bibles that this had nothing to do with my mother-in-law. What this had to do with was a small business in the town I grew up in, 30 miles away from here, had a truck that they spray painted the word Trump on, and they parked it in front of their business. And they were getting angry because they were losing business. And they were also getting angry because they were losing business because he was pushing that Democrats were stupid and Republicans were the best and yada, 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 yada. And again, he was losing business because he was making people who did go in there that were Democrats feel like shit for being Democrats. And they got offended and they just decided not to use his business anymore. That's what I was talking about. I could care less. I couldn't care less what my mother-in-law does with her business. Her business is her business. That is what she wants to do. But I wasn't talking about her. I wasn't calling her out in that video. And the video that did start all of this happy horse shit, I mentioned her for 2 seconds. I didn't mention her for very long. I did not sit there and go into our problems. I didn't talk shit about her. I didn't make her out to be this horrible person. I didn't make myself out to be the victim. I simply said my in-laws and I don't get along. Boom. End of story. I didn't mention that there are some people on my husband's side of the family that I do get along with. I get along with my sister-in-law. I get along with the aunts on his dad's side of the family. I get along with his dad's sisters. I get along with his grandparents. I get along with his brother-in-law. That's the extent of it. The rest of us just don't get along, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no reason for this to be drama, but it turned into drama. And I spent an hour and a half of my day crying because of comments that were directed at me, made me feel bad about myself, made me feel like I was disgusting and that I needed to just like decide that I wasn't going to be honest with anybody about anything. I just needed to back off, and that is not true. This, unfortunately, comes with me wanting to be honest. This is part of me wanting to be honest, is that I'm going to get shot down by people. I'm going to get talked down to. I'm going to get mistreated. I'm going to get shit on by other people because of how they think, how they feel. And that's on them. That's not on me. You know, I have to be myself, and that's what's important. And I don't know, this just turned out to be so much more than it needed to by a 2-second mention and I don't know, an assumption. But like I said on TikTok, I'm giving this person enough time to realize that I called them out. And after they realize that they've been called out, whether they choose to come forward or not, that's on them. They have to live with the fact that my mother-in-law is feeling hurt. They have to live with the fact that because of them, horrible comments were made at me and I spent an hour and a half crying. They have to live with that, not me. I have to deal with the repercussions of crying for an hour and a half. But after they realize they've been called out, I'm going to go through and delete the videos, and I'm going to walk away and I'm going to be done. I'm just going to be like, that is the last time this is going to be mentioned. And anyone who chooses to go in real life from then on will be blocked immediately. And I just hope people understand that this was a mild situation of what could happen when you go in real life. When you go in real life on other people, you don't know what their living situation is like. So there could be people, you know, thankfully I was in this situation where my husband and I sat down and discussed this and talked it out. But, you know, there are people out there who are in abusive living situations that if people were to talk about what they talk about on social media that their significant other wasn't okay with, they could get hurt or something bad could happen to them. And like, you don't know what the situation is. Again, thankfully, this was a really mild situation. Like there was no big bullshit going on, thank God. But just, this was drama because of an assumption and a mention. And I'm disgusted with this person. I think they're pathetic. And I don't understand why it needed to happen, personally. So I just wanted to explain the TikTok drama today. Thank everyone who's followed me. Thank my new subscriber. I forgot to get her name, but I got a new subscriber today. You're awesome. Thank you. I love you. And basically, I want you guys to comment what content you want to see. I want y'all to start being more interactive with my TikTok. Come on. That's why I'm here. Anyway, I will show you guys my hair transformation tomorrow. Hopefully I remember. But anywho, I just wanted to explain, I love you guys. Thank you for sitting through that train wreck. Thank you for sitting through this train wreck of a video. I love you all. I will be posting on here more often. I'm going to try and pick a day where I sit down and I make a video to upload to here. I love you all. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday and have a wonderful Sunday and have a wonderful week.